Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Be Honest podcast. Today I'm joined by, oh my God, wait, I was gonna ask you, how do you pronounce your name?
Xana.
Xana. Okay, see, that's what I was gonna say, but then I was talking to my friends and they were like, no, it's gonna be like Xana. And I was like, I don't know. So it's X, it's like how it looks, X Anna.
Exactly. Yeah, I get Xana all the time, so don't even worry.
Okay. I was like, I need to get this right. Okay, so Xana, I love that. You're an incredible artist whose music is bold, unapologetic, and deeply queer. We're gonna talk about your journey in music, your identity, and what life looks like. As you head on tour. You're about to go on tour. Are you so excited?
I am really excited. I leave in less than a month. I think I have like 3 weeks left. I'm doing my tech rehearsals this weekend. I'm very excited.
That is so excited. I saw that you're coming to Austin and I live in Austin, so I have to see you.
Yeah, you have to come. I'll
Yes,
put you on guest list. Don't even worry about it. We'll get
oh
you
my
in there.
God. Period. Okay, amazing. Okay, so we're just gonna jump in. I'm just gonna start asking you questions.
Go for it. I'm like
Okay.
pretty much almost an open book.
Okay. You're like almost like 99%.
You get almost all the pages.
I get you. I get you. Okay, so we're gonna start with your music journey. So when did you first realize music was like your thing?
I think it's like the first thing I ever knew about myself. I've always been like a little spotlight girly, putting on shows and concerts for my parents when I was little and like singing before I could talk. And when I was like 5 or 6, I think I discovered Avril Lavigne and I was like, that's gonna be me when I grow up. So I've always been on that path. It's always been like my number one thing. There really hasn't been a backup plan. So
Well, it worked out, it looks like.
I made it happen. I had to.
I love that. I love that. So who would you say shapes your sound or like did anyone inspire you when you were growing up?
So many artists. I listened to a lot of my dad's music, obviously, when I was like really little, and he would make me little like mix CDs and stuff.
Mhm.
So he would sometimes work away from home, and so he'd like make me a CD before he left, and then I'd like listen to it until he came back. And so it was a lot of, I mean, like 90s, 80s music and like grunge kind of rock music. Um, Lots of like Bush and Three Doors Down, country music. My mom also like loved country music too. So I really was exposed to everything. And then when I got like old enough to request which radio station to listen to, I like loved pop music. I always wanted to listen to the pop station. Um, and so at that time when I was in like elementary school, it was a lot of like Fergie and Pussycat Dolls and like all those girls. I was also like a huge like Raven fan, Hannah Montana, Lizzie McGuire. I like all like that whole era of Disney. So it was like anything from like AC/DC and the Killers to like Hilary Duff. So yeah,
So like all over, just all
all
over.
over. It was all of it. I really am such a genuine fan of like all genres of music, and I think that definitely bleeds into my music because I'm always wanting to like dip my toe in different genres and stuff, and it's all rooted in pop, I would say, but
Yeah.
I like love leaning more rock
Yeah.
than like I love playing with fun little synthy stuff and auto tune and like having fun in that world too. So yeah.
I love that. Were you ever like a Kesha girl?
Yes, I was a Kesha girl. Yeah, I
Like
like had Instagram captions that were Kesha lyrics for sure.
no, I remember when Kesha came out with like one of her albums. I don't remember what the album was called, but I think I was like in fifth, sixth grade, and I knew like every single song. I knew every single word, and I don't think my mom knew because my mom would have been like, absolutely fucking not. Like, this is insane that a little fifth grader, sixth grader is like listening to this. But yeah, that was me. I was like, in my room, like sneaking it, listening to it. So I get it.
lot of like insane lyrics on the radio when we were in elementary school. My sister is 4 years younger than me, and
Mhm.
when she was like 6 or 7, her favorite song was Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls.
Mhm.
Loosen up my buttons, babe. Like, and then it's like, it was just one of those things where like, it is what it is, and it's a good song, and it's
It is,
catchy, and of course, dancing.
of course. And what's so funny is I remember back in the day, I loved Lil Wayne, loved him. I loved Tyga. Like these are all people that I should not have been listening to at the age, but you know what? It was my jam, you know? Like I don't know.
And the thing, the harrowing thing for me is that I am now that person for some people. Like some people message me and they're like, 13th birthday, my favorite song is Complex. And I'm like, you should not be listening to, oh my God, no. Like I just forget that um minors might find my music and listen to it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I need to write everything like parental friendly, like no explicit content. It like freaks me out a little bit. But
But it's
yeah.
not your fault. Like it's not your fault if a minor comes across your song, you know?
So somebody's got to be the Kesha for everybody. Somebody's got to do it. So I
Somebody
guess
has
it's
to.
just my turn.
Yep. You are the person.
Come on.
Okay, so how do you approach songwriting? Like do you start with words, a melody? Like how does it start for you?
It's definitely case by case dependent. I feel like usually I will start with kind of some lyrics and melody together, and go from there. But sometimes I start completely a cappella, like I'm just in my head. I come up with something that sounds cool or that I, like how it's written. Other times I'll be like in the studio, we'll be working on music, coming up with like a vibe that I kind of like, and then I start to come up with lyrics and melodies to that. So it depends, but I'm definitely like a lyrics first kind of artist
Yeah.
generally. Um, and yeah, it also depends just how I'm feeling, like what I'm going through. A lot of the times I'll always write when something is feeling very raw, but I find that that's not like the best version of it, but it's good to have that like in my notes app. And then later when I might have a bit more perspective coming back to it,
Yeah.
I find myself doing that a lot. But it depends. Like when I wrote Lip Service, that was very much a as it was happening in the raw feelings of it, like actively going through it. And I
Yeah.
love that song. That's like one of my favorite songs that I've written. But then like 15, I wrote that like a decade after the situation. So it just depends what is coming at me in the moment, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, and I feel like all artists are different. You know what I mean? Like there's not a right answer to that. So it's literally whatever works for you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, which track of yours feels the most vulnerable or true to who you are?
Vulnerable and true to who I am, those are like two different
Okay.
things. Um, because I mean, I could say that like 15 is very vulnerable. Like I don't listen to that song honestly. Like if my music is on, so my parents always listen to my music. I'll be like, I was at home a couple weeks ago and I went into the living room and my dad is working, but he had like my music videos playing on his other monitor. And then I like went into the kitchen and my mom's like listening to my album like in the kitchen. And so I was just like, you guys are my number one fans and it's really cute. But if ever I hear 15 come on, we're skipping it. Like I don't listen to that song. I love it and I love that I wrote it and put it out and I love that it has been important for a lot of people, but that's not something that I like sit at home and listen to. It's
Yeah.
just I don't need to do that. um but then like songs that feel the most like me, like this is an Xana song, would be like Lip Service or Baby Blue. Like those
Mhm.
I feel like are just like part of me. And they all feel part of me, but like to a different degree. I would say those two. And like Monster too, even though it's about, like every terrible thing I've ever done in my life, I love how that song sounds and I love how I feel when I listen to it, despite the topic. And And like that one very much feels like how I feel all the time too. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so when did Girls Girl come out? That came out like not too long ago, right? Like it's like your newest, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It came out July 7th. So it's
Period.
like a couple months. Yeah.
Oh, so what does that like song, like how did you create that song? Like what does it mean to you? Like is there a like a story behind it? Like just tell us it all.
Yeah, I really wanted to put out like a fun pop song for summer, something that was like kind of sexy, kind of problematic, something that made you want to dance or like go to the club. I don't really have like I was like I've never really written like a song that you'd like want to listen to in the club, and I was like maybe I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had somebody tell me once that I wasn't a girl's girl, and that cut me like a fucking knife. And I think I was just like thinking about it for a long time, and it was a very terrible, nuanced situation where I was like, okay, no, like I wasn't a girl's girl to that girl, but I was being a girl's girl to that girl. But in doing that, I wasn't a girl's. When it gets sapphic, it gets a little complicated, like which girl you should be the girl's girl to.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
fucked that one up. But anyway, so it's just like something I was thinking about for a long time. And then I was like, guess I'm not a girl's girl. I'm just your girl's girl. And I just wanted to write like a unserious pop song for summer.
Yeah.
So
Period. Yeah, the lyrics, whenever I was listening to it, I was like, ooh, I'm not a girl's girl, but I'm your girl's girl. I was like, okay, like that is a little controversial, but I was like, I like it, you know? I like it.
yeah,
I feel like when someone does tell you that you're not a girl's girl, it is literally the worst. I feel like yeah, like I am someone that's like I am a girl's girl, and if anyone sees me differently, like I will fight because like you said, you were in a situation where it was like you were being a girl's girl to one girl, but of course the other girl's not going to see it that way, but in your brain you're like, how can I be a girl's girl to both of y'all? Like I'm trying, but I get it.
it's very controversial. It was
Yes.
very confusing and a terrible situation. But the song itself, like what that little piece that kind of led to the song itself does not reflect what that actual situation was. You know what I mean? Like that was this song is more of like a character song and a more of an indulgence, but yeah, like the actual real situation was more like screaming, crying, throwing up, therapy for years and years kind of situation. So yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna jump into your identity, your sexuality, the deep stuff.
Sure.
Amazing. Okay, how has your sexuality shaped your music and the stories that you want to tell?
Yeah, that's so funny because my sexuality is just like the most normal thing about me. It is the air that I breathe. I don't really see it as something separate from me or from, any part of my life, really,
Yeah.
including the creative process. So, um, it's hard to kind of answer like how it's shaped my music because I'm like, well, it just is. It's the air that I breathe. It is just me.
Yeah.
Um, but I also can absolutely recognize that I have made such a strong connection with my following and my listeners because of our shared sexuality or shared kind of experience through life. And that's just like very special and very emotional. It does make me very, very emotional when I am like face to face with everybody and like seeing with my own eyes like how much it has impacted people. And for that, I feel like very, very grateful for. But it's a hard thing to kind of like pick out and be like, oh, this is what it influences.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's the whole thing. It's all of it. So it's my life, and I write about my experiences and myself and different relationships, and they are all
Yeah.
queer because I am. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, that's literally who I am, so it's easy for me to create music about who I am.
Exactly, exactly. And like, I'm not really like thinking, okay, I'm gonna write like a gay pop song now. It's like I'm just gonna write a pop song and I'm gay. So
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah.
So you were just talking about like how you have like such a strong like connection with like your followers and like, and the honestly in the queer community as well. It made me think like you are someone's queer representation. So this wasn't in the questions, but I'm just asking you because I'm like, this is a good one. Um, how does it feel to be someone's queer representation? Like, does that freak you the fuck out? Are you like, holy fucking shit? Or are you like, no, I'm like the best role model ever?
Well, I don't definitely don't think I'm the best role model ever. Oh my God. But it also doesn't freak me out. Maybe because my brain has a hard time really like wrapping itself around that thought.
Mhm.
Um but no, it doesn't freak me out. I think that I'm really proud of who I am and I really like myself. Like I think I'm a very kind and lovely person to be around and I'm very loving and very loyal to my people and so if somebody looks up to me for any which way like I think that that's very flattering but it doesn't feel like scary to me or anything. I think also people will look for like they're always looking for something to feel to see themselves in and to connect to and so if there's something in me or in my music that they recognize or that feels familiar to them that's like a beautiful thing and that's perfect. That's like the whole reason why I do any of this is for people to feel seen and understood or maybe like understand something about themselves more. So that's the whole purpose and if that happens then like great, I'm doing my job.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. No, yeah, I feel the exact same way whenever I get DMs or just anything of someone coming up to me or DMing me or whatever, saying something about like, I listened to your episode about, blah, 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 blah. And like it really helped me, like whatever, or like it saved me, or like it made me feel like a sense of whatever. Or I'm like, oh my God, like you're gonna make me cry. Like it is a good feeling. So I do understand. I do.
Yeah.
What is like, has there ever been a reaction that, or like something that a fan said to you that was so meaningful that you remember to this day?
My God, it's so much. Whenever I meet people, it's like it's always so emotional, and there's always so much. And like, I can't remember which city it was. Think that maybe like Winnipeg. This happened like in Winnipeg, and I think it happened in like San Diego, if I remember correctly. But when I was singing 15, there was someone who just like literally could not keep it together. They were just like coming unglued. And I spent like the majority of that song just like holding them while singing it. And like that is a moment where is very powerful and very emotional and I kind of have to like it takes like everything in me to keep it together myself. But yeah, I think it's easy sometimes when you like I get a lot of messages or comments and it's easy to be like, "Oh, that's like very sweet and very touching." But seeing it with your own eyes like IRL is like I'm like, "Oh shit, like these are actually real people out in the world who are very much affected by
Mhm.
the music and that feels like very special." So, I also love when people will write me letters sometimes and that it's nice to have something that I can time and time again go back and read because like I don't know, there's always so much happening. It's always so lovely to have conversations, but there's so much happening that like and it kind of is all like a whirlwind, but then I'll like be cleaning my room and I'll find like a box of letters from tour and I'll like start reading through those and I'm like, holy fuck, this is insane, this is insane. And so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can pick like one thing somebody has said. It's just been a lot of anytime somebody feels more confident in themselves and more comfortable with their experience or their sexuality, or like maybe something traumatic that has happened that they've processed, like that has made me feel like, okay, everything I've gone through is worth it because it's now made a positive impact for somebody else. And that's just really awesome for me to feel.
No, it is really awesome, and it's like that's the whole point, you know? Like that's the whole freaking point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so I didn't ask you this. I don't know why I didn't put this in the questions, but when did you know that you were a part of this beautiful community?
Probably when I was hooking up with the first girl I ever hooked up with in the back of my family's minivan. I think that's when I was like, wait, this is a little gay. I'm like in between her legs, and I'm like, wait, this is like a little gay of me right now.
Yeah. Yep, that'll do
I
it.
think
That'll do it.
that's what I think, that there were definitely signs. It's really funny, like thinking back to experiences when I was younger. I was like, girl, you were so in the glass closet. But I just like didn't put those things together until then. And I was 17 at that point. So
Okay.
yeah, when I was 17.
And when not everyone has coming out stories, so like I always try to word this correctly, but like when your parents found out, were they accepting?
Yeah, my mom kind of put it together before I told her, because um that that person that I hooked up with when I was 17 ended up being my first girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we were like texting all summer, and I'm like giggling at my phone, and she'd be like, "Who are you texting?" And I'd like tell her name, and she'd be like, I remember she was like, "Oh, like you guys like talk a lot," and I'm like, "Yeah, like we're friends." And she's like, "Are you guys like the kind of friends that kiss each other?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, mom, no, like we're just friends." And she's like, "I'm just asking." So she like kind of knew, like she put it together. And then I don't remember exactly how long it was until I told her, because I think told my mom, because I think me and that person kind of like we dated on and off for a few years. And so at one point when we like on one of our breakups, I told her, and I told my dad at that point too. My mom obviously was like, "Yeah, girl, like I fucking know." And then my dad, I kind of came out to him twice, because I was like, "Hey, like you remember when so and so was like always around here, and we were like hanging out all the time, and like we were kind of dating, and we're not dating anymore, but I think that like I will date girls again, but like I'm still dating guys too, but I just wanted to know." And anyways, he said like all the right things, and he was like super chill and super fine. And then like maybe a year later or something, I was like, "So I think that like I don't want to date guys anymore." And I think he, at that point, he was just like, "Are you sure? Like maybe you just haven't found the right guy," like that kind of stuff. And not in like a
Yeah.
unsupportive way, but just in a just genuinely just asking questions.
Yeah.
Like just like genuinely just want like asking questions and wanting to understand. But they've always been like my number one fan in every corner of my life. And even when there have been things that maybe they didn't quite understand or agree with, and not necessarily just like sexual life stuff, but just like life stuff in general, if there's things that they're like, they still show up for me like
Oh.
100% and support me. And I'm very, very lucky, very, very lucky for that. They like, whenever they come to my show, they come to a lot of my shows, and they'll like be running the merch table
Oh.
if they're at my show. And they like made shirts from my mom and my dad and my godmom. They all made shirts that were like, I think it was like, yeah, my godmom's like fairy godmother, and then my mom's is like mama of the pop star, and then my dad of the pop star, something like that on their shirt. And it's like number one on the back's like number one fan since 1996 or like whatever. Like they're very, very sweet, and I'm super, super grateful to have such a good relationship and experience with them through all of this.
Oh, that is so good. I love that. No, I love that. My parents are very similar. My dad, whenever I came out, he was literally just like, all right, cool. Like, you're the same Kinley, so like, whatever. And then my mom was the one that had questions, not like in a degrading or like, weird way.
Right.
She was just genuinely like wanting to know questions. And even though some of them were like ignorant questions, it was literally because she just didn't know. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I have like pop-ups with like my podcast. I have like merch, and so like I do like little pop-ups at events and stuff. And my parents came to my first one and they had like my shirts on and they were like all decked out and it was just like cutest. So I understand. It's so good. I love it.
It's so good. And I think it's good when parents ask questions, like even if they come across ignorant or maybe like not quite worded the perfect way, like I think it is good to still
Oh,
feel like
totally.
they can ask those questions and have those conversations. I'd so much rather have the conversations than like not, you know?
Yeah.
I'd so much rather talk about it and have my parents be trying to understand me than just like not understand me, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, because if people don't ask questions, they won't be able to learn and figure out things. You know what I mean? Especially like our parents' generation, like they need to ask questions.
Yeah, our parents teach us so much, and then it's our turn to teach them too. Like
Yep.
it's a symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so we're going to talk about your tour coming up.
Yeah.
It's called the Wasn't Tour, correct?
The Until It Wasn't tour.
The Until It Wasn't Tour.
Which is kind of like a silly name. You're kind of like, what the fuck does that mean? But because my album's called The Sex Was Good Until It Wasn't, and my first tour was like the Sex Was Good tour. And so then we were like, what do we name this one? I was like, the Until It Wasn't tour. I don't know. It's kind of
No,
a mouthful. It's
it's
best.
cute. No, I like it. I like it. Okay, so what are you most excited for that tour?
Oh, I'm so excited to be like IRL in the same room with everybody again. Whether that's like the meet and greets or the actual show itself, I'm just like so excited to be in that energy. I was on tour for a month last summer, which feels like, I was thinking about it, that tour feels like years ago. Like it feels like way longer than just a year ago. And so I'm like very much itching to get back at it. But it was the best month of my life. And I'm just so excited to be around these people again because they're the kindest. Okay, not to like go to bat with any other artist out there, but like I have the kindest fan base ever. They are so sweet and so funny and just like a pleasure to be around. And so I'm just like really excited to be in the same room as them again. And also like I'm a really good traveler. Like I think a lot of people don't like traveling. I love traveling. I have no issue living out of a suitcase for however long, and I genuinely do enjoy being on the road. The only thing is like maintaining my health on tour is really hard. But it's worth it. It's so worth it, and I'm working very hard to maintain my health. Yeah.
So what exactly do you mean by that, maintaining your health? Like drinking your water, making sure you're eating enough nutrients? Like is there like a deeper meaning behind this, or what exactly do you mean?
Yeah, it's all of that. It's like being on top of my vitamins. I'm like a month out now, so this is kind of where I'm like I don't drink alcohol anymore. I cut my sugar as much as I can. I'm exercising. I'm trying to like have like a good routine with like sleep and exercise and water and all of that. I got sick my last tour and had to cancel 2 shows, and that was terrible, and I never ever want to do that again. But it's also like actually really hard to not get sick because you're getting like 5 hours of sleep and that like you roll into the hotel at like 1 or 2 in the morning. We like load everything in. We get like 5 hours of sleep. We have to wake up at 6 or 7 to then drive. I'm like, I'm not there. I don't have a tour bus yet, so I can't just like sleep overnight. I'm not there yet. So it's just like it's a lot, and you're just like constantly going, and then like meeting so many people, being like exposed to so much. So it's kind of it can hit you a bit harder than you expect. I'm gonna be like getting the like IV vitamin bags like once a week until I'm like leading up to tour. I'm gonna go to my doctor with like a gun and be like, I can't get sick for 6 weeks. What can you give me to ensure that? Like I will do it. I'm doing anything and everything. But
You're like, is there a
yeah.
special vitamin I can take to not get sick? Like, tell me.
Dude, I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure it out as well. I'm like taking like 2 cold effects a day because I've convinced myself that that'll help. My mom is also a huge like she used to work at a vitamin store when I was like a baby and stuff, and she's a total health food kind of girly, so she knows all the vitamins. She'll like give me stuff and I just take it because I'm like, that's Bible for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Ginger, the like I'll take ginger shots like every day, especially when we're on tour. That's kind of like our pre-show little ritual with the band is we like all take ginger shots. But yeah, so
You? Yeah, I
I
was
just do it.
literally.
Oh,
What?
and if you or anybody has any advice or tips, I'll be in the comments. I'm looking. So
No, I was about to say, like, have you tried the ginger shots? Like, you can get them anywhere. You can get them at Whole Foods. You can get them like at a regular grocery store. You can get them from like the, nice juicery spots. You know what I mean? That's what I took all the time. I used to be a teacher, and my first year, I was like chugging those every single morning. And didn't really help. I mean, maybe it did. I still got sick like a lot. Everyone says your first year of teaching, you get sick like pretty often because of the crusty kids, like. But maybe I didn't get as sick as I could have. You know what I mean? So,
exactly. What age were you teaching?
kindergarten.
Yeah, so those are little germ monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Um, I literally have ginger shots and like immunity shots on my rider so they're like at the venue waiting for us when we get there. And
Yeah.
then if we need more, we pick them up like during the drives and stuff. But we definitely have like at least one a day, like the whole crew. So yeah.
I'm sure there's someone that's going to listen to this episode that is listening right now, and they probably know things that you can do to prevent sickness. So if you're listening, I don't know,
Please
freaking,
share.
yeah, and reach out to
Write
her.
to
Let her
me.
know. Yeah.
Astral project me in a dream. I don't care. Just come to me.
Just somehow get the message to her. And me, honestly, I'm interested. I want to know.
I know. I want to know like when you look at like mega pop stars, like I want to know Taylor Swift's health routine. I want to know exactly what she's doing before and after she's on stage. And like she played like 1 million shows and didn't cancel a single one. And I'm like, this is insane. Who's your doctor? Can I be
Yes.
referred?
She
Like,
probably has like special fucking like fairy vitamins that help her.
yeah, she's probably getting like liquid gold injected into her veins. And I'm like, please spare one bag for me,
Like, please.
queen, please. Yeah.
That's so funny. No, she probably does. She probably has the best of the best. And like you mentioned the IV, like the IV stuff. Honestly, I feel like, and I don't fucking know anything about like touring and stuff like that, but I'm sure the dehydration is probably the first thing that gets to people that are touring, artists that are touring. So honestly, girl, like if you could schedule like IVs like every other week, I don't know how that works. Maybe you shouldn't do it every week, guys. I don't know the science behind it. Maybe that's not good for you. But just be as hydrated as possible. And those IV drips, whatever they're called, they really work. So,
Yeah. They saved, well, so last summer when I got sick, I was so down bad when I was in Nashville. I was like hallucinating. I was like just on
oh
my
god.
deathbed in the hotel. Like it was really bad. And there was a IV clinic that was literally across the street from my hotel. I was like, the gods have come for me. And so I like waddled my sick little ass to the IV clinic and I was like, please save me. And I had to cancel so that night, like that show, and then the DC show, which I think was the next night, and then I had like 2 days off or something like that. But by the time I had to play Philly, I was like, I was like, 85%, 90% back. Like, but I was like so shocked by the recovery. And like, yes, I also had like an ear infection and like a virus. I got like hit like fucking crazy. And so I was taking antibiotics and like other medications. But I was very shocked by how quickly I made a recovery, because usually when I get sick, I'm like out for like 2 weeks. Like I was genuinely so scared that that was just going to be the end of the tour. And so, yeah, I found an IV clinic here, and I went and I was like, I'm going on tour. I need to survive this for 6 weeks. And she's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have like these bags with this in it. You're going to get it once a week for the 4 weeks leading up to your tour. And then I'm like, perfect. And then when I'm out on tour, if I can find like at least 2 places that I can like hit it on like a day off, and like, I'm so like power of the mind convincing myself that this is going to work and I'm going to be okay. And we'll see what happens. I'll report back in November.
Yes, let me know. We're manifesting that. We're manifesting it. I believe that you will not get sick. And okay, let's be realistic. If you do get sick, you're going to be sick for a night, and then you're going to wake up and feel better.
I'm going to have the sniffles, and it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything crazy.
No, it's going to be great.
Amazing. Okay, we're speaking it into existence or whatever the fuck. Okay. Best or wildest tour memory so far? I know you just said you got sick, so I guess that could be one of the fucking, wildest memories, but anything else?
So many. All right, well, my fans decided to be a bunch of assholes one night, and because usually it's my job to make them cry. And then they decided,
Okay.
Uno reverse, we're going to make you cry. And I was like, wait, that was not part of the deal. And there were a few shows where, so 15 is a song about like an assault that happened when I was really young. And usually when I start the song, I'm like eyes closed. I'm like, I just have to take like the first like 30 seconds to a minute of the song, just like not looking at anybody. And when I opened my eyes, they were all holding up these cards that said, "You are worthy." And that was just the end of it for me. I was like, that one is very sweet and very kind. Two, fuck you for making me cry on stage like that.
Yeah,
But
you're
that
like,
was
we
just,
have a love-hate relationship right now.
yeah. I'm like, oh, so we're fighting. We're having our first fight. Awesome. No, but it was really sweet. And I think also like beyond me, I'm sure that that also meant a lot for a lot of people in the audience too, who were having their own experiences with that song, and then seeing so many people around them holding that kind of space. Like, I just feel like that was very powerful and very sweet. And I hope they never do it again, but I love them for it so much.
You're like, I
Um,
can see y'all's hearts. And it all came from love, but don't ever do it again.
I'm like, it's my job to make you cry. Don't get
Yes.
it twisted. No, it was very sweet. There, and this is what I mean, where they're just like very thoughtful, very sweet. Like, I don't even know how they planned that, or like who planned that, or like how that came to be. Like, it wasn't happening, and then suddenly it was, and that was just like very, very special.
Aww, that's sweet.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
sweet.
I also had like I played at Summerfest last year, and I opened for Fletcher, and that was a really fun night because like Carly Hansen is an artist that I love and have been listening to forever, and she played before me, and then I played, and then Fletcher, and I was kind of just like, what the fuck's going on right now? And then Ethel Kane, she was playing another stage the same night, and so I like went to see some of her set for a bit, and I just had this like feeling of like, oh my god, I think it's so easy to think that these like big crazy dreams are like so far out of reach, and you're like working so hard and they're like so far away. And I had a moment that night where I was like, oh, I don't think they're like as far away as I thought that they were, to be sharing stages and like with these artists that I just like so admire and love. And I'm like, that's literally so crazy. So that was like a really fun night, just like my own little like personal feeling that I was experiencing. felt really cool. So yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you said you opened for Fletcher, right? That's what you said?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't really like understand that I was opening for her until I got there because I was like, it's a festival, like everybody's opening for each other, like it's just.
Yeah.
But then I got there and like realized what the setup was like, and you had to have like a different, like a specific ticket to see Fletcher, and I was like direct support, and I was like, oh my god, wait, no, I'm opening right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, it was fun. It was really sweet.
Cute. I love that. Okay, your dream lineup. If you could tour with any artist, whether they're, they can be alive or gone, who would it be?
How many am I allowed to stick on this lineup?
Um, I mean something that's realistic. You know what I mean?
We'd be like, ah, shucks. Okay, you know what? I would love to. I would love to open for Fletcher. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm being parasocial about it. I think I'd be such a good fit for. Wait, did I just say Fletcher? I meant Halsey.
Yeah, you just said Fletcher, and I'm like, girl, you already did.
No, oh my gosh, sorry. I got Fletcher in the brain. Halsey. I would love to open for
Okay.
Halsey. I think I'd be a very good fit for her. Also, like I grew up on Halsey's music, and like I learned so much about fan artist relationships by being a fan of Halsey, and I absolutely adore her. I woke up this morning to her announcing a tour, and we are playing London on the same day in January, and I'm like, okay, so and like my like the London show's like almost like pretty much sold out, and I'm like, okay, guys, I would completely understand if we all just wanted to pack up and head to Halsey's show instead. Like, no hard feelings. Let's like we could just go over there instead.
So, what has been your biggest challenge as an artist so far?
Um, I think sometimes I struggle with just the idea of like, and I think this is everybody, regardless, and no matter where they are at in life, is the idea of just like not having enough time. Like I feel
Mm.
like time is always like slipping, and um kind of yeah, I get like stressed out that like I don't have enough time to work on something as much as I want to, or whatever it is, and don't have enough time to like be on tour. I don't have enough time to like spend making a music video or recording a whole album. Like there's and it's good to have timelines because or else nothing would ever happen. If I took as much time as I wanted on these things, they would just never end. Um so trying to find a balance of like spending a healthy amount of time on it that I'm like, okay, no, I'm doing a good job and this is fine and it's ready to share. And not like not super rushing myself, but not dragging my feet. I think that's just like a thing for with practice, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then also I feel like sometimes I can have some very big ideas, and then I need to scale it down to what is possible, and then trying to make it so that I'm still satisfied with it and I'm still proud of it, even if it's maybe not quite like at the level that it originally the idea was originally birthed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I do feel very lucky. Like I don't feel like I struggle very much as an artist. So like things like my biggest struggle is like not feeling like I have enough time in the day to do everything I want to do. That's like kind of not even a struggle at all.
Yeah.
I have a really, really amazing team, like a very close, like small and very determined, hardworking team. So that makes everything feel so good and so worth
Yeah.
it. So yeah, does that kind
Yeah.
of answer? I don't know.
Totally, totally. And I get what you're saying 100%. Especially I relate to what you said about like, you have these big goals and dreams and in your brain you're like, "All right, that's kind of unrealistic." Like you know, it could be realistic like in the future, maybe later on down the road, but right now I need to focus on like what I can achieve. And when you
Mhm.
achieve that, you need to still be proud of yourself and be like, I still achieved this, you know, like I was able to do the damn thing and do this. That's how I am. I have like these goals to like have all of these like, you know, super fucking well-known people on my podcast. Like of course, that's the dream, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm having amazing people on already, like amazing. And when I
Yeah.
look back on like where I started, it was just me talking to myself. Like I was just like, "Hey guys, welcome back. Like let's talk about like U-hauling." Or
Right.
you know what I mean? Like and then now I'm interviewing amazing people and I need to be like present and be like happy and you know thankful and like grateful and like fucking proud of myself that I'm able to speak to people that are so amazing. You get what I'm saying? I just yeah.
Completely. And I think it's also hard too because the goalpost is always moving. Like
Yes.
we reach a goal and we're like, hell yeah, we did it, and then already it's moved somewhere else. And like
Mhm.
so it's kind of you're always running towards the next thing, and it's really important to take a moment to like look back at like what you've achieved and like feel happy and feel super, super proud of yourself and have like
Totally.
that moment of gratitude before you continue the marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. And I feel like it's funny, I've talked about this on my episodes, but like my earlier ones. So like I haven't talked about this in a while, but like I am someone that like, and hopefully this doesn't come off wrong at all, but I am someone that always gets what they want. Meaning, like, if I put my mind towards something, if I work towards something, I always end up getting it. And so
Mhm.
I get nervous whenever I'm like, I'm so passionate about my podcast. I want this to like do the damn thing. I want to, you know, this and that. And then I start overthinking and I'm like, "Oh shit, what if I don't get to where I want to be?" And then I start getting anxious and then I'm like, "Fuck." And then I'm like, "Okay, what should I do next?" You know? So it's this thing that's in my brain, but I'm obviously like I can be very self-aware and be like, "Kinley, let's reel it back a little bit. Like, you're
You're
good."
doing good. You're good.
Yes.
You got this. You're doing the damn thing. No, I super, super relate to that. I
Yeah.
also, you being like, I always get what I want. I'm like, yes, completely. I always say, I have lucky girl syndrome. It always works out for me. That's like my mom, everybody's like, you've got lucky girl syndrome. It's going to work out for you. And it always does. Cause I think I'm just like stubborn enough that if I've decided on something, I'm going to make it happen one way or another.
Exactly.
But yeah, we have to still be gentle with ourselves for like the things that maybe are taking a bit longer than we want them to or XYZ.
Mhm.
So, but I think you're doing great, girl. I think you should take a moment to be very proud of yourself. I think you're doing a really great job.
Thank you. And you know, like I know I am as well. So it's just like snap out of it, Kinley. Like, you know, snap out of it. But, you know, I feel like it's human. It's human. Like when you
Oh,
really want something, like if anything, it's probably a good thing that I'm like, I need this to happen, but I need to be healthy minded about it. You know?
completely. But and it's way better to be like very driven and have like be
Totally.
very determined for something than not. So yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Girl, look at us. Okay.
we're doing so good.
Um, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, speaking of all
Yeah.
these goals and and ideas and dreams, um, fuck, 5 years. I think, yeah, I think that, my marathon is just, I just like keep going. I want to be doing longer and bigger tours, like higher production tours. I have so much music that I want to create and genres that I want to explore with. Visual media that I want to do. Like, I would love to do an album film one day. Like, there's like all these things that are just kind of like on the whiteboard of
Mhm.
plans and dreams. And yeah, I would really love to, like, not even so much work related, but I would love to live in New York at some point. I would love to maybe even spend, maybe not like live in LA, but like go to LA for a few months, like spend some time there.
Mhm.
Um, I love Europe. Like I'd love to like live in Europe for a minute. Like I love traveling and I love being other places. So I feel like I could see myself definitely in New York, but living in some other cities as well. Um, but yeah, I think just doing a lot more of what I'm already doing. I love my life. I literally love my life so much. So I just see more of this and bigger and better stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing. No, I love that. I love that. Um, LA, yes. I that's also something that I've always wanted to do. I'm like, I want to move out there. Like, I want to just do the damn thing, even if it's like I sign like a year apartment or, whatever it's called.
Hmm.
Like, you're just at an apartment for a year. Like, I can always come back to where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I feel like LA is the place that people go for like opportunities, and it either like it works or it doesn't. You know what I mean? But I feel like yeah, I get it. I get it. LA. Where are you right now? You don't have to like say like your exact location, but like
My address is
yeah.
no, I live in Vancouver. I'm in Canada.
Oh, you're in Canada. Okay.
I'm
Period.
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and I've been to LA a few times and never really felt like a desire to live there or like spend like an elongated period of time there until I was there earlier this summer, and that was like the first time it like started to click. Where I was like, oh, I'm starting to get it now. Like I get LA
Mhm.
now, and I kind of do want to spend some time here. But like New York too, like feels like I just like feel like a piece of me like lives in New York. I love that city so much, and I'm like, again, I'm like so many things I want to do, so little time. Like when am I gonna live in these places? How am I gonna do? And like my producer, my team, my producers, they're here, so I'm like, what? I'm gonna like move to a city and then be doing like remote sessions. Like it doesn't really
Yeah.
like I'm trying to look at my 2, 3, 5 year schedule ahead of me and be like, when the fuck do I move cities? That makes sense, but I'll make it happen at some point. I have a visa, so I gotta take advantage of that. But yeah.
There you go. It's funny. I've been to New York a couple times, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The vibes there are amazing. It's like wonderful, but it's so chaotic. I don't think I'd be able to live there. And it's funny how you were like, I feel like there's a piece of me that's in New York. That's how I feel about LA.
Yeah.
Me and my partner, we went to LA like earlier this summer. I think it was like, well, March. Honestly, I don't know. And yeah, after we came back, I was like, we need to make this happen somehow. Like somehow,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Where do
yeah.
you live now?
I live in I can say my city. It's all over my podcast. I live in Austin, Texas.
Right. Okay. Yes, you mentioned this at the beginning. I just forgot.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Austin's a lot of fun too. Did you grow up there?
No, I actually grew up in I grew up in California, more like
Okay.
inland. I was there for like 10 years, and then we moved to Texas. We moved to like the Dallas area, and then did my stuff there, and then went to college in like the Austin area. And then I like the people here in Austin a little bit more, so I stayed here.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
Have you been to
sweet.
Austin?
Yeah, well, just like once on tour. So I didn't see much of Austin. I played a show there and we had a lot of fun. It was great. But yeah, I don't get to like see much of cities when I'm on tour because we pretty much like we get into town, we go straight to the venue, we load in,
Yeah.
we play the show, we go to sleep, and then we leave. But
Yeah.
I did like it. Texas is so pretty. Even just like driving through, like the drive from like California, Arizona, Texas, like all
Mhm.
throughout there, so beautiful. I loved it so much. So
It
yeah,
is. It is beautiful. It is. I just don't think I can live in Texas for too much longer. You know what I mean?
that is so valid, Princess. That is so
Mhm,
valid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like I need to find another spot for me. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope you make it to LA soon.
Oh, and I feel it. I feel it. I know I will, and I'm wanting to do it
Yeah.
soon. So like, we're in the works. We're trying to figure it out. So
Amazing.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna do a fun little rapid fire. So some of these you may have to like think about. So when I say rapid, you don't have to be like and like try to think of the first thing.
Okay.
Um, okay. What is a sapphic hot take that you have?
Okay, mine would be I am definitely more like leaning, I'm definitely more like femme presenting, and
Mhm.
I love a mask, and I love to be the boyfriend to my mask. Like, I love, like, we're out in public, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like, she's the boyfriend, she's the girlfriend. We're like, ha ha ha. And then we get home, and it's like, I'm the fucking boyfriend, and you're the girlfriend. That is like, I love that.
So you're the daddy.
I'm the daddy for sure. Or the mommy, however you would like to explain it. But
Yeah.
yes, I am that.
No, I get that. I 100% understand. Hmm.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful dynamic, very special, very sacred, near and dear to my heart.
Yes. Amazing. I understand. I relate.
Mhm.
Okay. Craziest DM from a fan, or I guess it doesn't have to be a fan, just like the craziest DM you've had from someone.
I get a lot of like very interesting DMs. I get a lot of people just like wanting me to like not get involved in their relationships as like a third party thing, but like
Yeah.
communicate with somebody on their behalf. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting like I'm not doing that. Peace and love, peace and love. But I think like I also some very like interest, not crazy, crazy like cuckoo, but like interesting crazy DMs is like when someone after a show or after a meet and greet or something, they like genuinely believe that they are in love with me, and they message me and they are like asking me to be with them, and they are in love with me, and they're like, I noticed the way you were looking at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And I get it. And I get it. I went to a One Direction concert when I was 13. Me and Harry Styles, we had something real. Like, I get it. But it's very interesting and flattering being on the receiving end of a message like that. I'm like, okay, awesome. Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's do it. Yeah.
You're like,
Okay.
I don't think I was looking at you a certain way, but you
And I was
know.
like, but I'm flattered and I love you so much, and I'm that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you're like peace and love, that's it.
like I completely understand. I would fall in love with me too on
Yeah.
like first meet. Like it makes so much sense, and I'm flattered. So thank you so much.
100%. Exactly. All right,
Yeah.
one word your friends would use to describe you.
I think that they would either say that I'm kind or entertaining.
Okay. Those are good
I'm like
ones.
the entertaining friend. I always have like some tea to share at the function.
Okay.
But I'm also, I think yeah, I'm very kind to my friends, and I like those are like my little chickens, and I like take really good care of them. So I think yeah.
I call my friends chickens as well. Literally, there was
Really?
yes, I also call them chicken nuggets. Yes, there was one time I met someone for the first time and I don't remember what happened, but I was like, "Ah, you're such a funny chicken" or something like that. And they kind of like looked at me and I was like, "Oh, like you don't get it." Like I'm like it was so weird. I was like, "I'm not
I
like
get
calling you like an actual chicken. Like I'm confused what's
right.
happening here." You know, like it's just like you're a little chicken, you know?
Exactly. Whenever I'm like trying to make plans with all my friends, or like I'm usually like I drive everybody, so I go pick everybody up and like bring them to the function, and I'm always like, I'm corralling my chickens, gotta corral my chickens, gotta go collect everybody, get them to
Yes.
and fro. Yeah, I get it.
Why are you the driver? Because I am literally the driver as well, but I want to hear why you're the driver.
Maybe it's like a mommy thing, I don't know, like this just the vibe. No,
Do we have
I like driving. I'm happy to drive, and I feel like I always am just, if we're making plans, I'm like, all right, I'm picking you up at this time, you up at this time, you up at this time, let's go. Because, yeah,
do you
why
think
not?
it's like a I mean maybe it is like the mommy vibe, who knows? But do you think it's like when I say this, I don't mean it in a mean way, but like a control thing where you're like, I want to be in control. I want to make sure everyone gets home safe. I want to leave when I want to leave. Like, do you think it's that or no?
I think, um, I think it's more. yeah, like I want to make sure everybody gets home safe. I want to make sure that like the plans happen. Like if we're gonna make plans, they're gonna happen. And I don't know. I think some like everybody's always happy to be passenger princess, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to drive. So it just kind of works out. And I'm not always like my friends will drive sometimes too, but most of the
Yeah.
time I'm like, get in, we're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I get it. That's how I am. I get it.
totally.
Okay. This is the very last question. Okay.
Oh my gosh, over so soon. The
I
fuck.
know. I know. It goes by too quick. Okay,
It's
if you could send a message to your younger self or to young queer kids listening, which hopefully, honestly, hopefully they're not listening to my podcast now that I read this question, but whatever. If you could send a message to your younger self or to young queer kids listening, what would it be?
I think it'd be to listen to your gut, listen to your body and like what your heart is telling you, and
Mhm.
listen to who you are. And who you are, it's not a scary thing. It can feel like a scary thing, but you don't have to be scared. Just like listen to your heart, listen to your body, be who you are, know that whichever path you choose, that is the right one for you. I think that's like a lesson that I'm like really learning and listening to right now is like I have very good intuition, but I would fight it for the longest time. And I wish that like my younger self had just listened to myself more because I'm like, I
Mhm.
had all the answers. I knew who I was. I knew the truth. I knew what was right, what was wrong. I wish I had listened to myself more. So I think that's something that like anybody like younger or older, queer or not, like that's just like a good thing to keep with you because like no one knows you better than yourself, and you have to like listen to who you are, and that'll be like your that's the most important relationship you can have is one with yourself. So listen
Yeah.
to that bitch.
Listen to that bitch. And once you listen to
Listen.
it, honestly, like a lot of things, like your eyes will open. You'll start to realize a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because if you keep pushing it down, whatever it is, again, it doesn't have to be, queer. It could be whatever. Once you listen to that gut, your intuition, like everything starts to make sense.
Yeah, you start realizing a lot of stuff, and then it's hard once you start. It can be scary, but like once you start, it's kind of impossible to stop. Like once you start listening to yourself, you can't really go back, but like everything just kind of falls into place and
Yeah.
starts making sense, like you said. And yeah, I wish that for everybody.
Yes, and what this just reminded me of, this like literally might not be what you're saying at all, but like this is what I think of whenever I, listen to my gut and like came out and like was like, "Hi, I like girls." Um I started to realize a lot of things within like, politics, religion, that kind of stuff where like whenever I was like straight, I didn't really think much of, but once you kind of, and I'm specifically talking about coming out, a lot of
Mhm.
things, at least in my story, a lot of things came to light and I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. And or like that's weird, or like wow, that's amazing. And like, so it is a lot whenever you do come out.
No, it's like a
Again,
whole eye-opening experience. Like you are seeing the whole world through a different lens now. And it's like
yes.
you're relearning so much about yourself and the world around you. And it's, yeah, that's like a crazy experience.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. Yeah. And so it can be a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
So worth
It's so worth it. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for coming on. I feel like you and I relate a lot. I feel like we have a lot of similarities, so I love that. But thank you so much for coming on, talking about, your life, your sexuality, your music, everything. So just thank you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This was honestly such a lovely chat, and I like really enjoyed every minute of it. And I really appreciate you taking the time and being with me. So thank you for having me
Yeah.
on.
Of course. And let the listeners know where they can find you, like on socials, where they can find your music. Just let us all know.
Yeah, I am on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Xana official underscore, I think. And yeah, all streaming services, like wherever you listen to your music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, whatever. My name is Xana, spelled Xana. My latest song, Girls Girl, just came out a couple months ago. And yeah, and I'm going on tour. I'm going to be in the States all of October. So come see me. And I'm really excited. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So, for my listeners, I post every Wednesday. I have some really fun people coming on. So, definitely stay tuned for that. And I will talk to you later. All right. Bye.